What's up, you guys? It's M. Williams here. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about, girl, you gotta go. Girl, you gotta leave. So what am I talking about? I'm going to be talking from two sides of the story. I'm going to be talking about both sides of the story because I was a hair salon owner, and I was a hairstylist, and I was a commission hairstylist. And I owned 3 locations before: storefront and salon suites. So I'm gonna be talking today from a couple of different perspectives, from the owners and from the stylists. So you guys bear with me. I'm gonna make it as quickly and as briefly and as painlessly as possible. So when you own a salon, when do you know when it's time to fire somebody or get rid of somebody? And then vice versa on the flip side, when you're at a salon, when do you know when it's time to leave? So let's start with the stylist. Okay, if you're a hairstylist, whether you commission booth rental, I owned a commission salon for many years, from like 2008 until like 23, the end of 23. But you guys, if you're a stylist and you're working in a salon, if it's a bad location, your clients, they don't like the energy there, they don't like the vibe, the energy is bad, the owner may be negative, unprofessional, she or he may be running your clients away, he or she may have like a bad attitude, and like I said, the professionalism level is down, the vibe, the energy, the place is not clean, the bill's not paid, the water is off, sometimes the lights are off. So, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you're a hairstylist, of course, whether you commission, booth rental, or whatever you are, you don't want to stay there. But on the flip side, the owner side, when do you know when it's time to let a hairstylist go? For commission, and like I said, I had a commission. And to be honest, if you own a commission salon and you're an owner, I would just recommend that, you make sure that your commission hairstylists are, bringing in clients for themselves as well. So you want to make sure that they're keeping their end of the bargain, that you're not just doing giving and they not sewing into their own self or sewing into their own business, because it's going to come some point in time when they are going to want to leave. And so you want them to be building their own database of clients and their own clientele up too. So when you own a salon, and whether it's booth rental or commission, if it's a booth rental salon and you're a booth rental salon owner and the stylist is always paying you late, the booth rent late, then that's somebody that's not really handling their business in a professional way, that are handling their money. And just because people own a business or just because people own booth rent, that doesn't mean that you're going to be getting paid on time or that they're good with handling their money. First of all, what you have to do and have to remember, what all you had to do, you got to remind yourself as an owner, like what all you had to build up your business. Like, it's a lot building up a business when you first open up, especially the service industry, because it's such a very competitive industry. So you got this salon over here, and then you got another salon about a half a mile down the road that offer the same thing you do, and then so on and so forth. Same thing as a stylist. You may work in a salon in the area you work in, or the salon you work in, it may be like a lot of competitors in the area, a lot of competition. It's a very competitive industry in the hair industry. The service industry period is very competitive. So what are you gonna do to stand out? Like, what are you gonna do to make yourself different? How are you gonna dare to be different, whether you're the owner or whether you're working in someone else's salon? And it doesn't matter if you walk in the threshold, if you walk through the door of a salon, and whether it has your logo on the building or not. If you rent in a booth or you commission in a salon, it's still like it's your business, because you're behind the chair and you're servicing the client. So that's a representation of you and your integrity, your professionalism, and or lack thereof. So you also got to always remember, when you own a salon or own nail shop, barber shop, whatever you own, whatever kind of business it is, you got to always remember to keep what is the best interest of your brand at hand. Sometimes you can end up keeping somebody working in your place of business too long, and they're becoming a detriment to your business. they're making your business look negative, and they're always late. They're never on time. They're not professional. They loud. They're kind of rowdy. They don't want to take constructive feedback and that kind of thing from the client or from you. And at the end of the day, if you're in the service industry, whether you agree with the client or not, you're not going to be in business. You're not going to be making money at all, whether you're the owner or the stylist. If you can't take constructive feedback, can't just let it roll off the back like water off a duck's back. If you can't do that, if you can't, man up, woman up, if you can't take that constructive feedback, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to build up a successful clientele, because it's going to be people that's going to, maybe want to give you some feedback. They may not like their hair. They may not like their nails. They may not like how you did their lashes, and so on and so forth. So you got to be able to take constructive feedback. And if you're a salon owner, don't tolerate the disrespect. If you have someone working, whether they commission or whether they on booth rental, it doesn't matter. If they don't have respect for you as the owner, at the end of the day, they're going to start with that little small seed of disrespect, and then it's just going to magnify, and it's going to grow and get bigger and bigger. So if the disrespect starts off small and you enable that person by allowing them to continue to disrespect you, then it's going to grow and grow. So you should not allow that. Like the first or second time they disrespect you, you need to have a conversation with them and just say, that's not allowed. Like, I don't know where they worked at before that they are allowed that they can disrespect the owner. But at the end of the day, you have to be the one that stands up to them and say, okay, you can't disrespect my place of business. Same with commission or booth rental hairstylist. If you feel like you don't respect the owner, because you may not respect the owner, may not be professional, may not be handling their business, this, that, and the third. If they don't, then, don't disrespect. Just go ahead and leave, and, just start planning to leave. Tell your clients you're going to be leaving. So who is the owner? Is it you or them? If you are the owner, are they trying to boss you around? Or are they being, like I said, disrespectful, disruptive? Are they talking to you like you're a child, like you're not the owner? Or vice versa? Is the owner talking to you as the hairstylist like that? Are you the hairstylist and then the owner is talking to you that way? Then of course that's going to be some place that you don't need to stay. I mean, at the end of the day, whether you're the owner of the business or you work in the place of business and you're not the owner, at the end of the day, whomever you are, you need to be able to go home and sleep, have a peaceful sleep. And because owning any kind of business or being in the service industry is stressful enough without having people being disrespectful and rude. Don't let hindsight be 2020. I say this a lot on my channel, because a lot of times, when we right in a situation, we kind of don't wait on God to just tell us what to do. We be blind to the facts, as I say sometimes. But you got to think very clearly. You want to be wise, you want to use integrity, you want to be professional, because you don't want to wait till a bad situation happens and then hindsight be 2020, because you was not, considering the situation. You wasn't thinking it through. You wasn't being wise. You wasn't being professional. You got to think it out and, be proactive, be productive, be proactive, think in advance. Sit down with yourself at least once a week or once a month or every 2 weeks. Get your little pen and pad and paper and write down some pros and cons and some things that you need to work on with your business so that you can continue to go higher and higher, whether you're the owner or whether you just work there. Don't let one bad apple spoil the whole show.
Thank you.
Sometimes in situations you can bring a negative Nancy into the situation, or negative Nancy can be working there, and then she's gonna start, spreading rumors or saying negative stuff amongst the others, and then sometimes others already be feeling some type of way, but they may be holding it inside, and then when you get that negative person in there, then it's gonna spread like a wildfire. It's gonna spread like a bacteria, like a fungus, It's gonna spread, because people who have that negative energy, they can't keep it amongst themselves or keep it to themselves. They have to go and start gossiping and talking and being very negative, amongst the others. And sometimes people really, to me in the service industry, sometimes people don't realize when they're in a blessed situation. And sometimes, again, hindsight will end up being 2020. So you always want to have, like I said, that pad and that paper. And then if you have a mentor, somebody who you respect, who's going to be honest with you, who's not going to worry about your feelings, they just going to be very honest and transparent with you. Because sometimes we can think we got the greatest idea ever, and then we don't. And at the end of the day, it's always about what seeds that you sow. So you always want to be careful about the seeds that you sow, because we all want to grow. We all want to be productive. We all want to get busier. We all want to make more money. But how are you going about doing that? Are you taking from somebody else? Are you robbing Peter to pay Paul? Or are you, doing illegal things? Are you doing, unjust things? Are you doing things that's not professional? Or things that don't have integrity? Or what are you doing to get to the next level? Is what you're doing, is it something that God would approve of? Is something that you would want somebody to do to you? What is it that you're doing to go higher? Make sure you always think about that and put that on the forefront of your mind. And if you own a salon, is the morale down? Or if you work in a salon where the morale is down, sometimes you got to figure out, okay, is this the place for me? Is this the place, for my clients? And in all honesty, I think that's why a lot of times people go into salon suites, because we're in this day and time where people are more isolated. Back in the day, people would go visit each other. People would do things together, go skating, go to the bowling alley, go to the movies. People would go have Sunday dinners, at grandparents' house, at their mom's house. It was always a cookout. It was always a party on the street. It was always something going on, some type of gathering that we were all doing. But nowadays, everybody is kind of singular, where they kind of off on their own. They do stuff by themselves. If they want to have a conversation with you, it's not a face-to-face. It's usually a text or something like that, or email. So we have kind of grown out of this thing where we have conversations amongst ourselves, where we're around each other, where we nurture each other and support each other in that kind of way. We're kind of, hands off. We're kind of more like that. So, that's kind of how it is. So, it's always good. It's good for your brain. It's good for your body. I've even been doing a whole lot of stuff on the health of your brain, like brain health. And keeping a healthy brain means that you're having, relationships with people. You're having interactions with people. You're engaging people at all times. Believe it or not, you can Google this after you read my video. After you look at this video, not read it, but look at it after you view it. It's very good to have interactions with other people and engage. So the reason I brought this up, the interactions, is because we're kind of getting out of where we don't want to work in a storefront salon with other stylists or other people in the service industry. We kind of want to work all alone in a little room and pay a whole lot of money and feel like the only way we're going to have some kind of peace is if we work in a little small room by ourselves. And it's all about how you see things. It's all about your perspective. So I personally feel like you can grow and learn a whole lot working in a storefront salon. But it seems like that's a thing of the past. Like everybody's into trying to do their own thing, and there's nothing wrong with that. But it's so much you can glean and you can learn just by working in a storefront salon, in my opinion. And sometimes, if you're a salon owner, you own a storefront salon, don't wait until the person quit. If this is a hairstylist, a barber, nail tech, esthetician, whomever it is that works in your salon, if they are causing the morale to be bad, if they're being very negative, they're bringing negative energy into the salon, they're gossiping and complaining when they should be grateful, and they're not, don't wait till they quit. You got to man up, or you got to woman up and just tell them, that they need to leave. Same thing if the shoe is on the other foot. If you're a hairstylist and you're working somewhere where all of those things apply to the owner and not you, then you just need to leave. Don't wait till it gets really bad. Don't wait till all your clients start complaining to you. Don't wait till your energy is so down that your clients, your regular clients, don't even want to come see you no more. They about ready to go to another stylist because your morale is down. You have to just leave. You got to just make a wise business decision, and you got to get that paper, that pen. You got to write down the pros on the left side, the cons on the right side, and you got to make a decision. And then if you own a salon, again, if it's somebody being negative, it's one person, one or two. Sometimes you got to chalk it up for the team, and you just got to make a big, wise decision, even though it's going to cost you some revenue. But at the end of the day, you can replace that person, because there's so many talented hairstylists and barbers and braiders and nail techs out here. It's a lot of them. It's a lot. Don't think it's just the one or two that you may have working at your place of business that's bringing the negative energy in there. It's a lot of them. So don't feel like, oh, this person been here forever, but they're very negative, they nasty, they disrespect me, they never on time for the clients I allow them to serve, they this, that, and the third. Don't feel like that. Don't feel like, that you can't let them go just because of, that they've been there a long time and they've been servicing a lot of clients or whatever, and they in high demand. If all of those other negative things are there, then that's going to affect your brand and how people look at your place of business.
Thank you.
And if the shoe's on the other foot, if you're somebody working there and all these things, just flip it around, and then if you need to leave, just leave. And then sometimes, like Nike said, we got to just do it, because, sometimes we just need to do it. So, but at the same time, when you do own a salon, you do want to be making sure that some people just be so big and so ready to step out and own a salon, and they really don't have a business model. They really don't know what business ownership is about, and then they want to be commissioned, because in all honesty, there's not a lot of minority salons, in my opinion, that are, commissioned. So if you decide to go commission, then if you're the owner, just like you need a business plan, you need to have a plan as well. Because if you don't know the vision, if you haven't written the vision down and made it plain, then when you hire people, they not gonna know what's required of them. They not gonna know what your vision is if you don't sit down and tell them. Like from the jump, when they first come in, you gotta be like, okay, you can get the client's information, or you cannot. When you leave, you can't take all these clients with you, or you cannot. When you leave, that's where we do where you leave and a departure, agreement, and then you can take a percentage or whatever, because at the end of the day, it's all about business. And if a stylist take all of the clients and they were on commission, then how is the salon how is the business gonna remain in business? They're not gonna be able to. So, because no matter what kind of business it is, it can be Wendy's, it could be Chick-fil-A, it could be any type of business. If there's no customers, no business can remain open. So you have to have all that in, to me, in writing, and you need to get people to sign it. You also need to tell them what you expect from them. Like if they're coming in commission, that's a big risk for an owner. So if you're willing to take that risk, then you need to say, okay, this and the third. You need to have it documented what your expectations of them are. Are you gonna provide all the clients for them that they can service and make a commission? If so, how much a percentage are they gonna get? If you are gonna provide clients for them, for how long? Is it gonna be 6 months, a year? If you are going to provide clients that they can service for them, do they have to contribute to the marketing and the branding, the TV commercials, or whatever kind of advertisement you're doing? Are they going to have to contribute to that so that, you can continue as a business owner to bring clients in that they can service? Are they going to be required to bring their back bar products and their tools and all of their products, the shampoo, the back bar, the color? What are they required to pay for? As an owner, you have to have all of this in mind before you even start posting that you're hiring. Because if you get into this thing as an owner where you're doing everything for the commission hairstylist and they're doing nothing for themselves, then that's against biblical principles, because God always wants us to put that seed in the ground to get that harvest. So you're pretty much enabling people. And if you do enable them, you want to enable them to be self-sufficient, to be independent, and that's going to mean them marketing themselves. You need to require. And then I would recommend, if you are a commission owner, that you require them to be on commission, I would say no longer than 9 months. And during that time, they need to be bringing people in for themselves all during that time. Because if you don't, they're going to get comfortable, or they may. I'm not saying they may get comfortable, because you got a lot of grinders out here in the industry who grind, who don't mind making it happen for themselves, who are gonna make it happen for themselves. Like myself, I worked in a commission salon before, and I was grinding. I told the owner, look, I just need to start off this way, but I'm gonna flip it in a minute. It won't take long. And when I was ready to flip it, I don't even think it was 6 months later, and I was ready to go to booth rental, she wanted me to stay on commission because she was making more money that way. And I just stayed on commission. But when I left her salon, I made sure that her clients that she allowed me to service to make her income. I didn't get in my information as to where I was going or anything. In my opinion, I didn't feel that would be fair to her, because that would be taking revenue out of her pocket. Whether I wanted the client to follow me or not, that was something I wasn't trying to do. But anyway, that's what I think, that you should make sure you have a plan. And then stylist, if you're a hairstylist and you're going in a commission salon, don't just go in all blind. Don't go in all willy-nilly. Make sure that the owner tells you everything that's required of you, all of the expectations. Make sure they're typed up, documented, an agreement, and you sign and they sign. What I find in business is that you have to have agreements. You have to have documentations. Now, if somebody does leave and they take clients with them, which is making your business suffer, whether you have a written agreement or not, it's a thing called a fiduciary duty. I can go into that in another video. But whether there's an agreement signed by the person or not, as a business owner, there are several laws that protects businesses. So if you are a hairstylist and you're commissioned and you're leaving a salon, I would recommend that you talk to the owner, show them the respect, treat them like you would want to be treated if you were the owner. And then come to some type of agreement that y'all can type up and sign, whether they'll say, okay, take 25% of the clients, 50% of the clients come to some type of business or legal agreement, so there won't be any chance of anything happening. And even if it's not legal, you just don't want to, in my opinion, I wouldn't recommend that you do that to anybody, because that's not a seed that you would want to sow. If you that type of person that be concerned about, how you treat others and the seeds that you sow. So I can go more into that in another video. But right now, I just kind of want to give them two sides. And me, you guys, I'm always going to try to be honest, transparent, and give you as much honest feedback. And I'm always going to be thinking about what seeds you sow and how you want to plant into the ground. Because at the end of the day, it can affect you and your family and your outcome, your income, if we don't do right by other people as we should. So anyway, that's all I have today. Stay tuned for another video. You guys know I've been making soap, so I'm going to pop that website here, and I'm going to pop the Instagram there too. I'm trying to build up my soap Instagram, so please join me there, and I'm going to see you guys on my next video. Please subscribe. Peace and blessings.